How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Pipe. I am Zach, here with one of the founders of Glass Academy, Chris Nordine. And we have a collection of questions that our viewers sent in to us to get to know Chris a little bit better. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it.
Sounds great.
So we're going to start with some personal questions, and we're going to move to work, and then finally some speed round.
Nice.
First question, is golf your favorite warm weather sport? And what about winter sports? What's your favorite in terms of cold weather stuff?
Yeah, I wasn't even prepared for personal questions, but that's good. Golf, I think, is my favorite summer sport, and I like playing it right now. You know, it's fall, it's beginning in November, and as long as the weather holds out, I'll play as long as I can. I love it. And winter, for sure. I mean, I love hockey. I love playing hockey. Haven't played in a few years. The COVID thing kind of messed things up. But winter sports, skiing, I think outdoor winter activities, being outside in the cold. I love the cold. I love being out in the winter. I like my fingertips burning from the cold. And it's just something I think is in my Norwegian heritage.
It's a good way to get the blood flowing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Another question here from a viewer. What was the first car that you drove as a kid that your parents let you drive?
Interesting. The very first car I drove was not my parents' car at all. It was a car that my grandfather gave me and my two brothers at the time, and it was a '71 Ford Cougar.
Ooh.
With a 351 Cleveland in it, and that baby was pretty sweet. It was in mint condition when the three of us got done driving it. It was not in mint condition.
Not in mint condition anymore. I don't think they even make those cars anymore.
No, Cougars aren't made anymore. I mean, I remember we changed the front clip on that car 7 times, which means we rechanged the front end 7 times. Put a new front end on the car.
I think that the viewers can draw their own conclusions
Yeah.
from that information.
Exactly.
All right. So next question here. What did you want to be when you grew up, and what jobs have you had other than glass blowing and, you know, getting to the place you are now?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I mean, for a while I wanted to be a chef. I loved cooking, and that was a possibility. And I remember my mom would always talk to me about, and all of us, all my brothers and sisters, about what we wanted to do and wanted us to have a decision. And it was really hard. I guess it was tough for her to try to get us to narrow it down. But a chef was there for a while, and then you know, the artist thing. I started out being a jewelry person in high school. I was making jewelry, loved it. Working with the metals, doing hollowware and forming of metals and stuff, and then thought I was going to be a jeweler, and then got a taste of glass blowing my first year in college and dropped jewelry like a hot potato.
Or a hot piece of glass.
Yeah, and never looked back.
Awesome. All right, we have a question from your Facebook page. A viewer noticed that you take the polar bear dip during the winter time, and also was astute to realize that it was at the Fin camp in Wixom. Can you tell us a little bit about both the polar plunge and the camp?
Yeah, well, the Detroit Finnish Cooperative Summer Camp is a camp out in Wixom, Michigan. It's a large amount of acreage. It's been around since the late 1900s, 1919, 1920, and we've been members there since we've been kids. We're Norwegian. We're kind of Finnish and Swedish. Grew up in the Laplands, or at least our family was raised there. I was born here, obviously in the United States. But the Fin camp, we've got a cabin out there, and we enjoy ourselves. And one of the traditions of being Finnish is doing a sauna. And a sauna is something that leads right up to sweating your butt off and then going and jumping in icy water.
Oh, yeah.
And we do that every winter, and I've been doing it pretty much every week here. We just got things opened up back because of the COVID, so now we're doing more saunas and stuff like that. But during the whole COVID situation, it was kind of a little funky.
Yeah, especially over the summer too. It's not very cold, so
yeah,
you
but
don't have that contrast.
It is nice to do the sauna and jump in the lake in the summer, but not nearly as nice as the winter.
Yeah, I know. I've experienced that with you a couple times.
It is fun. I love jumping in the water.
Right on. Well, we're gonna move right into some work questions here. Can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned that you found glass blowing during college. Can you mention or talk a little bit about your training and how that has gotten you to where you are today in the world of glass?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm the type of person that I'm a perfectionist and I'm a very technical person. So when I was at CCS, College for Creative Studies in Detroit, I was blowing a lot of glass. I just wanted to blow as much glass as I could because I knew that that's the only way you could get better at it. But at the same time, I was taking sculpture classes, color theory classes, and things like that that help, develop your artistic vision of how you put things together. So it was kind of a combination of doing that. And then once I got out of school, I was teaching at CCS for a long time, for probably like about 10 years. I taught adjunct classes there. And it's something about teaching glass and teaching anything that makes you, I feel, a lot more well-rounded about that particular craft and or anything, because you look at yourself and the people you're teaching so much more in depth when you're trying to make somebody do it the right way.
Sure. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That cohesiveness is important. I feel like. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. What drives your passion behind your artwork? What do you take inspiration from when you go in every day and you're blowing on the pipe?
Yeah, I think lively experiences obviously affect every artist, but I really enjoy the technical side of glass blowing, like pushing your limit, being uncomfortable because there's something so fragile on the end of the pipe, and pushing your boundaries. Excuse me. But I guess that's, production is different than creating, and it's interesting because when you're an entrepreneur and an artist, there's times when you're on autopilot just making orders and making product that
Sure.
needs to be made, but then when you don't have anything to make, then you get to make something that you want to make that isn't an order, and that's when the creativeness really flows.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Is there anything within the world of glass and your artwork that you're intimidated by?
Not really. I think I'm the type of person that likes going at things head first and full force. And if you feel a little bit uncomfortable about it, especially if I feel a little bit uncomfortable about it, when I get done plowing through it face first, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm telling you, And it's kind of nice, It's like every job, anything. You got to do something big. You got to change a sink. You got to, make a big fragile piece of glass, or you have to do anything. When you get done, you're more comfortable with that situation because you push yourself through it.
Yeah, it's almost like taking the polar plunge. You just gotta make the jump.
Yeah, and I just did hear this. I was telling Michelle this the other day. I heard Robert Downey Jr. said something about how the hardest part of a large project or a large film or a large anything is the time before that project happens, and where it's all controlled by your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your brain makes it seem harder than it really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, we're gonna move into some speed round questions real quick before we wrap it up.
Oh boy.
First one, just quick answers here. Have you ever jumped out of an airplane?
No. I never will.
When you wear your clogs, socks or no socks?
Socks for sure.
All right. Will you be making any Red Wings mugs in the near future?
I have made a lot of Red Wings mugs, and I'll be making more. The Red Wings are the whip.
What's your favorite season?
Fall.
What we're in right now.
Exactly.
Perfect for golf. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Oh God, a sea otter.
A sea otter. Perfect. Well, that brings us to our time here with Chris Nordine, co-founder of the Glass Academy. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Off the Pipe, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much.